Hey guys, Daniel here. I'll show you my face. You can see I'm here. I'm kind of doing this thing on the fly. I don't really have a program to like put my face and the thing on at the same time. So I'm just gonna put this on. But yeah, you can see I'm here. I'm working. So you want to know 8 ways to bring traffic to your website. You want to know 8 ways. I got them for you. So you create this website and you're like, oh man, what am I going to do? How am I going to get people to actually see what I've done? What are the different ways I can use to draw people to see what I've done, and whether it's buy a product or read a blog, or how can I get people to visit it? How can I get people to find it when they search for it? How can I get people to organically just find it? So the first way is paid traffic. Google AdWords. A lot of people are intimidated by this, but Google actually has a great way to get a decent amount of people to your website. So it's called AdWords. I don't know if I still have it up. Here it is. The first thing with AdWords you want to do is you want to start using the keyword tool. So the keyword tool is pretty simple. All you do is you put in an example of a topic that you're trying to, or a topic that your website is on. So maybe your website's on, like, I don't know, ski pants. Maybe you're a retailer of ski pants. So you want to know what people search for when they look for ski pants. Let's see, ski pants. And you want to go to keyword ideas, and you'll start to get some ideas of how many people are searching for what you want to search for. So, or searching for what you want to have your site for. So you can see that, like, people, these are the different things people are searching for, and this is the right here. So when it says gross monthly searches, these are the amount of times per month that people are typing into Google that phrase: women ski pants women, Columbia ski pants, Burton ski pants. So these would be keywords that you could use to highlight your site and create ads. So, and I'm not going to go into an entire tutorial on making ads tonight, but you want to consider these words when you're either thinking of an idea, listen, thinking of an idea, okay, to make a website or a product, or whether you already have that idea and you want to learn how to do it better. So you take these words and you go to campaigns. I don't know how fast this thing is going to load. I don't want to bore you with looking at my campaign, but you take those words, you go and you'd form a campaign, and then you would create a campaign based on those keywords, and then people would start being drawn to your traffic by creating small little ads. The ads on the side of the Google page. That's where the ads will be created, and they draw traffic to your website. You can do it for like pennies on the ad. So like every time they click, PPC, it's called pay per click. Every time they click on your ad, depending on what your bid is, on that keyword, it can cost you anywhere from, like, a couple pennies to a couple dollars, and you can set that bid, and you can agree to pay a certain amount based on where you want your ad to be positioned and all that kind of stuff. And I would go to Google.com, or the Google.adwords.com or AdWords.google.com, and look for the tutorials, the video tutorials. They break down everything, but it's not hard, and that's the first way that you're going to get traffic: Google AdWords. Second way, social media. So you're probably like, oh, Facebook, Twitter, duh, like whatever. But there are different ways that you can spread your content via these sources. And you don't want to just post in your regular profile what you're doing. I mean, that's one thing. But if you want to create, especially like in Facebook, you should create a page, a specific page, and you want to be delivering content based on the message that you want to send. So the first thing I would do is I would think of like 50 different topics that people who want to come to your website would also be looking for. Think of these different topics and start finding the best other websites and best other resources and blogs and areas where people can find that information, and start using that as content to post on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your Pinterest, on your LinkedIn. And here's the thing: you don't have to be the creator of content to get props, to get credit for like showing it to someone. Does that make sense? Like, for instance, um, okay, I really like green tea. I got some green tea right here, actually. This is actually chamomile tea, but I really like green tea. So if someone shows me this new brand of like Lipton green tea and I really like it, I'm not going to thank Lipton for the tea. I'm going to thank my friend for showing me the tea. And that's the thing. As a producer of information, someone who puts information together and like packages it, you get credit for packaging that information. You don't have to be the one who creates it. So if you're bringing people to other websites that help them to find out more about their interests, they're going to be thankful for that, and they're going to view you as the go-to source. And that's how you need to think of your social media. So you can become an authority on that. And that's the strategy. Second thing, so we have paid traffic, we have social media. Oh, and by the way, on your social media posts, after you show people other places to go, make sure that every, so often, every, don't spam people, but every like maybe 50 to 100 posts, when they're coming to you for other information, you also throw in a link to your website or a link to your promotion that you're selling, stuff like that. And people will respond to that because they won't feel like they're being sold. Forms. So the third way to bring traffic to your website is forms. Find relevant forms. Find the forms with people who are doing what you want to do. So for instance, like on Rich 20 something, a lot of the people who I want to get in touch with are like 20-year-olds or people in their 20s, like 19 to 30 basically, who want to handle their money, and also some people who have some experience with internet marketing, and also some people who have some experience with like art and creativity. So I'll find different sites or different forums where people with those interests are communicating and posting on, and I'll just come in there friendly, not selling anything, offering information, giving advice, just interacting in the community, and eventually people will begin to see me as an authority, and I'll have some sway, and I'll have some a little bit of weight, and especially if I have something like a link to my website in my signature, it really helps. Traffic will come in that way. And then if you post up something that's not necessarily too promotional, but just matter of factly, it's a link to a piece of content that you've created, then people will be fed into your system. So forums are a great place to go. Just make sure that you're not making it salesy. You can see right here it says, don't troll these forums either. Don't just go on there and say shit just to say shit. Actually be contributing to the community. Fourth way to draw traffic to your website: article marketing. So you can create articles and put them on things like easingarticles.com, articledesk.com, or articledashboard.com. There's different. Just search different article websites. You'll find them. And you can actually write articles and with brief content, and you can actually post a link to your website in your signature box, and that will get indexed in Google, and also people who read the article will have a chance to go to your website after that. And Easy in Articles, even, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, it was even bigger, but it's still big, and Google still likes Easy in Articles or websites like that a lot. So it's just another chance for your content to get indexed. Now I want to talk to you about this specifically. The cool thing about Easy in Articles, or just about writing articles in general, is that you want to recycle your content. So for instance, like I'm making a video right now about drawing traffic to your website, but I'll also probably write an article about this. Why? Well, because you can't, just because you made one video or one article about something doesn't mean that everyone that wants to know about that is going to see that one source. You got to make your content available in a variety of forms, in a variety of ways. And that way you can recycle your content. You don't have to come up with 1,000 things to say. If you have a couple core messages, you can take that message and you can repackage it in different ways, and people can get the information then, they can get across what you're trying to say to them, and also you don't have to do the work of trying to create 1,000 new things to say a day. Come up with your core message and distribute it differently. So if you write a couple articles, you can also recycle those articles as long as the wording is different and as long as it's slightly packaged differently. You can recycle that into your blog, which we'll talk about in a minute. Or you can take that article that you wrote and you can read it, into a here's a good example, into a blog talk radio show. And this is how we're flowing. See how we're flowing into content? It's all about recycling content. So you can create a blog talk radio show, which is just go Google blogtalkradio.com. You can create a radio show, and maybe you'll have no listeners at first, but eventually you'll start to get a couple listeners. And the cool thing about that is that, one, it's indexed in Google, so people will be able to find it. And two, after you're done with the radio show, you can actually export that in iTunes to a podcast. Like Blog Talk and podcasts sync seamlessly. You can make a podcast about that, and then you can seamlessly turn that into another piece of content, which is a podcast. And then the cool thing about that is you can also record your Blog Talk radio show as an MP3, and you can flip that onto you can put that onto YouTube or Vimeo, and then just put little screen captions into that, and you can have a screen caption of your Blog Talk Radio, which now you've made out of the same piece of content. You've made a radio show, a podcast, and a video. See how you recycle your content? 3 pieces of content, but now people have 3 ways to search for you. And you can put that on Vimeo too. So you can have that on Vimeo, YouTube, Blog Talk Radio, and podcast. 4 ways to post up your content and get it out there, but you're expending a lot less effort. The other thing down here that you'll see is blog. Of course, you got to create a blog. It's kind of like not everyone needs a blog, but a blog is a pretty good way, especially if you're creating more and more content. It's a pretty good way to like document your content, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good homepage. Even if you have like a sales page that you're making, it's good to have a blog too. And so WordPress.com, free blogs. By the way, all the stuff I've been telling you so far is all free. All the stuff is free. WordPress.com, free blog. You don't have to have a special fancy blog. It can be like, bullcrap.wordpress.com, and it will still work. And it's really easy to make. You don't have to worry about even doing any crazy software because WordPress.com has it all in there for you. Search engines love blogs. They index them really well. And it's also great for having a lot of content. And again, the more blog stuff you write, as you create more and more content, you can just recycle that content into your different traffic sources. So start thinking about this stuff. Last, or second to last, video content down here. So you can see up here, every time I highlight, my face goes away, but video content. So there's tons of stuff to do on video. This video isn't as short as I'd want it to be, but video should be short. They should be to the point. First 10, 15 seconds, really get into what you want to talk about. Make it useful for people because people have short attention spans. If you're still here, then you have a longer attention span than most. But make videos. And the thing is, if you look at people who have a lot of YouTube views, like these people who have like 500,000 YouTube, like there's this girl on YouTube, Jenna Marbles, who has like 500 million views. Now, she's in a different arena. She's kind of like comedy. And if you're doing comedy, then that will help too. But the thing about it is she has like 300 videos. And that's the thing. You have to be continuously creating content. You have to have a lot of videos. Over time, if people start finding you, then when they find one of your videos and they like it, then they'll look at your other videos and people start, they don't go from beginning to end. They don't go from old video to new video. People see a new video and then go look at your old stuff. Oh, great. My screen is freezing. Okay, let me get out of there before my face looks really ugly. Look at that. The last thing you want to look at is you want to think about partners, JV partners. So this isn't always with sales. This can be just with, oh, is my face still frozen? Maybe I can put it back on. I don't know. Let's see if it works. No, it doesn't work. Okay. So JV partners aren't necessarily with just with sales stuff. You can also find other people who are blogging like you and blogging on the same things you're blogging on, and offer to have them guest blog on your website, or offer or ask to guest blog on theirs, and share content and share user bases that way. And of course, always ask for, in any of these things, always make sure that you're asking people to subscribe to your stuff, because it's just a call to action. It's a strong call to action. But also, remember, when you're working with other people who own blogs or JV partners, always make sure to offer them something first. So always come to them from the position of, hey, I have some people who I think would like your message. Would it be okay if, would you like to share some content on my site? I think it would be great exposure for your site. And give them something first, and before you ask for something in return, because you always got to offer some value first. So I'm going to get off here. I don't want to bore you to death. I don't want to make a huge, long video. But if you're interested in more of this kind of stuff, I've kind of built a whole ideology, and my whole, my goal now is to teach people how to make money off their ideas. And of course, building websites that actually draw traffic is one way to spread your message and spread your ideas. Hey, visit rich20something.com. I got a free training up there. I think you'll like it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you, and talk soon. Maybe I can figure out how to end this recording. Okay, thanks. Bye.